Welcome to the Huddle Sports Network, where we're breaking boundaries and redefining podcasting. Broadcasting live on 6 different platforms, we're bringing you the latest in sports like never before. Imagine tuning in to real-time discussions, expert analyses, and fan interactions all at your fingertips. Each platform offers a unique experience, whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch. We're not just sharing stories, we're creating a community of passionate sports enthusiasts. Join us as we dive deep into the evolution of podcasting, where every episode is a chance to engage, debate, and celebrate the world of sports. This is where your voice matters and the game never stops. Welcome to the Huddle Sports Network, where we're breaking boundaries and redefining podcasting. Broadcasting live on 6 different platforms, we're bringing you the latest in sports like never before, where sports passion meets podcasting brilliance. I'm Mike, the Bear fan, and alongside Bill, the Packer fan, and our buddy Ken Catalone, we're bringing you an incredible lineup of 38 diverse podcasters. Each one brings their unique flavor to the table, covering everything from game analysis to behind-the-scenes stories. Imagine diving deep into the minds of experts who live and breathe football, sharing insights that you won't find anywhere else.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the WCFL DolFans Talk. Hope everyone's having a wonderful day. It's game day. Let's go, Dolphins. Let me go ahead and bring on my co-host, Mr. Dolphin Winters.
What's going on, brother? I know it's a little dark in here, but hey, I got to keep the lights off because I'm in a area in the hospital where I got to keep things a little secretive. What's going on?
Hey, same shit, different day. You know it, brother.
I hear you, man. I mean, it is game day, but I'm a little worried about this game. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sit here and BS. I'm very worried because we're going against another team that's above 500, that is very physical, and we're going into their house today. So it's either put up or shut up.
Yeah, I agree with you, but weather should not be a factor whatsoever.
Yeah, it shouldn't be weather. It's not weather I'm worried about. It's the missed tackling.
Yeah, the missed tackles. We can't have that.
No.
So,
not at all. You know, because it's a lot of ifs. If we do this, if we do that. But thing about it is, what Miami Dolphin team is going to show up today?
Yeah,
That's the big question.
I can't argue with you on that. It's
Definitely.
There's a lot of. Let me see who's here. Scotty. Good morning, Scotty.
What's going on, Scotty?
So, yeah, we got to see what team's going to show up, if they're going to stop doing this arm tackling and actually grasp hold of these guys and bring them down.
Right.
Our secondary, I hope our secondary has done some changes or something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, our secondary has looked like crap the last couple weeks.
Right.
But I'm here in Houston. Went to the meet and greet last night, met up with everybody, and then went to meet and greet with Dolphins Nation Mexico. And met a lot of those guys, which I wore. I have a Mexico poncho that I wore in Dolphins. I have a Dolphins poncho.
Nice.
And they loved it. And David was like, yeah, there's a big old white guy amongst all these little Mexicans.
Mm-hmm.
So it was good. Good food.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday, got to meet up with Richmond Webb and the whole gang, and Richmond wants to get back on the show again.
Oh, and I would love to have him back on here. That's going to be fun, especially he's still in the run for the Hall of Fame as well. So, yes, I would love to have him back on the show.
Mr. Gentle Giant Humble himself.
Mm-hmm.
He's he's one in a way, kind of like me. It's not about him. He doesn't feel, he's not going to boast himself, and he's just going to be. He's just his gentle, giant, quiet self.
Right.
But he wasn't gentle out there on the field. That's for sure.
Not at all. And Scotty, you're correct. Scotty, this is Mr. Webb's year. You're right, sir. We got to sit there and continue to support him and sit there and continue to try to vote him and keep supporting him in like we did Zach. So yeah, but this is an interesting game today. This is very interesting. It's an interesting week in the NFL. You have not just us going against the Texans. Here in Philadelphia, you got the interstate rivalry between the Philadelphia Eagles against the Pittsburgh Steelers here in Philly. And then you also got the Detroit Lions going against the Buffalo Bills in Detroit. So you probably got other matchups as well that are going to be very interesting today. So today is a really good day if you are sitting home and just chilling and not doing nothing. This would be the perfect day to watch football. The perfect Sunday to watch football.
Well, great question here, from Scotty. Do we think the roster moves we are making are the team statements, or are they too little, too late?
I mean, for me, I think it might be a little too late for me personally. I knew, no disrespect to any players that played this game, I just knew that Skylar just wasn't the guy. He just wasn't. Just to me personally, I understand they might have seen something in him that could develop into something special. Wherever he goes, I wish him the best, and I wish him the best in his career. But at the end of the day, he just was not it. He just wasn't it at all. But you know what's so crazy? He wasn't it for us. He might go somewhere else and it might light it up. You never know. So I wish.
At the same time, when you're only working one kind of scheme for one quarterback, it's not going to necessarily work for other quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right. He could go somewhere and yeah, Skylar's going to our practice squad. Yeah, I know. Which doesn't surprise me. But it could be too little, too late. But at the same time, I think I think they're trying to make statements that, okay, we're going to change this team up a little bit to do what we got to do. I mean, I don't know. It's I don't know what I'm trying to say, really.
It could be because of money. It could be clearing up cap space. It could be a whole number of things. But just for me, I just think it's a little too little, too late.
Yeah.
My whole thing is, and I'm sorry, I know I'm not a GM. I get it, but I'm not starting the season out with just two quarterbacks on my roster. I'm not doing that. I'm just not. That was the number one fail for me this year, was starting the season off with two quarterbacks. So that's the key thing. The key thing is, at the end of the day, we got to see what we have, not just today, but for the next 3 games after that. And then, hopefully it's not the off season after these next few games. But if it is, then we got to look deep to see who we're going to keep and who we're going to get rid of, because this is not going to be the same team next year. This will be a different team next year. Everybody on this team that you see right now will not be here next season. And that's just the facts. The key people, yes, your key people will still be here unless a major trade or something goes down. But, until then, we need some changes. And I think we need more of a physical mindset. Until we get that, we are going to be the same old Dolphins that get pushed around. And this could be either one or two. This could be the game that we can prove that we're not that team. We're not a pushover. We can actually go into somebody's house that's above 500 and actually beat them, besides the Rams, because the Rams were a 500 team when we faced them, and they got a lot of their players back at the right time, but we still defeated them. But can we sit there and be that team? Can we be that team also to go into the Texans today, into Houston, and show them that we're not trying to get pushed around? Or it could be Green Bay 2.0. And so we shall see.
Yeah, Scotty's saying benching Jones for Wynn or benching Poyer for McMorris. Those are real statements. It's not going to be that different of a team. Our offense has a solid foundation. The defense hopefully will change. They need to. I agree and disagree. Our offense, we need 2 new guards at least.
Mm-hmm. I think
the
we
rest
might.
of the offense seems okay, but we need 2 new guards.
And I'll be honest with you, Armstead, this might be Armstead's final year. You never know, and I hope it's not. But if it is, we have to upgrade at offensive line. And I love I still replay the play. I still replay what Greer said. You guys are worried about the offensive line, and we're not. Well, we should be worried about the offensive line, and you should be worried about the offensive line, because that's what keeps your $167 million quarterback off his ass and out and not getting hit and or close to being injured. So you have to sit there and look at the O line and put some money into the fucking O line. Your wide receivers are solidified. You have Taj Washington sitting in the garage for next season. I don't want to draft any wide receivers this upcoming year. We need to worry about the interior, which is linebacking core, defensive line, offensive line. That's what it comes down to. And maybe secondary as well, because you only got Poyer for a 1-year deal. I don't know how long you got Kohu for. You signed Ramsey for an extension. So, I mean, we got some things that we need to sit there and work out, but we have to take care of matters, the fact of the matters, and the things that we need to take care of today, which is taking care of these Houston Texans to stay alive in the playoff hunt, because nothing is guaranteed for us. We control our own destiny. We win this game, we're still in the hunt. We lose this game, we basically can say we might as well wrap it up.
Yeah, I can't argue with you on that. I mean, you give great points there.
I mean, I definitely hear what Scotty is saying also. I do. And I agree. I think I
he's
see
talking.
that. Go ahead.
He's talking tight end. Well, we just, we have Janu 1 year longer, but we need to sign him to an extension, I think.
I agree.
I mean, he's having his best season ever with us, and it's not even a full season, you could say, because we weren't using him the first couple games like we should have been.
Right.
And on top of that, there's a tight end from Texas Longhorns, Helm, 6'5", he's a full package tight end. He can block as well as run and catch.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, definitely. Yep. I fully agree. That's 3 agreements right here. I would definitely say please extend John New's contract, and you keep Smite, but depending on how long Smite is here, we don't know. I don't know what his contract eligibility is. And Julian Hill can we could sit there and maybe release Julian Hill and maybe bring somebody else.
He's been so terrible this year.
And so, I definitely fully feel everything. I really do. But I'm just to the point right now. This is another do or die situation. And we have to sit there, not only show the nation, not just show the NFL, but show ourselves that we can sit there and actually be that team that can sit there and punch somebody in the mouth.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Because, I mean, Doesn't matter what the team's record is until you sit there and start beating these teams that are above 500s. The stigma and the narratives are going to stay the same with this team, and it's going to be all through the fan base. I've been reading comments and Twitter feeds and Twitter this and talking about how our fan base is the worst fan base ever. What it is, and I will say this: if we're the worst fan base ever, I can't sit there and be mad at anybody that is really tired of going through an abusive relationship. And I'm tired of hearing people, well, nobody's forcing you to stay. No, you love your team. When you love your team, you're going to stay no matter what. But to sit there and be able to give opinions, you're able to sit there and give opinions because we have plenty of analysis and people are beat writers on an everyday basis that put out some shit. And we sit there and say the same thing on how the hell did you get a job doing what you do, sitting there speaking on what you're speaking on, and half of the shit that you're writing is not factual either. So with that being said, I don't know who, what, where, when, and why makes people gods and sitting there talking about how our fan base is the worst fan base. Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and say that there is a few of our fans that are not wacky. I will sit there and say that. But to sit there and say that we are one of the worst fan bases because you are a Dolphin fan just like we are is some bullshit. And that's just what it is. People want to challenge me I'm here, nowhere, no, I don't hide from anybody or anything. So that's how I feel on that whole situation. That's how I feel on all that. I'm a diehard Dolphin fan just like you are. We're going to always agree to disagree. But to sit there and say that we're the worst fan base and you're a fan of the team, that makes you, what does that make you? I don't get that. So with that, with that being said, and I've met Omar, and Omar's a cool dude. And and this is not taking shots at anybody in particularly. I'm just saying everybody's going to have their points and everybody's going to have their opinion and everybody's going to have their eyes on how they observe the game. Everybody's not going to agree on what they see. They're not. That's just what it is. Everybody's going to have their points. Everybody's going to sit there and stand on business on how they feel, or what they see. And that's just what it is. So at the end of the day, and this is for content creators, writers, I mean, everybody has a right to their opinions. Everybody has a right to what they see. The thing about it is, at the end of the day, to sit there and say that this is the worst fan base ever, then what are you a part of the worst fan base ever then? That's just the part that I'm not understanding. If you're going to say that we're the worst fan base ever, then you're a part of the worst fan base ever. So what does that say about you? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if we're the worst fan base ever. I mean, there's a lot of them that are the most. We have a lot of the most critical fan base, I could say.
I'll agree with that.
I mean, I was looking over things, and I don't know if I was just thinking it over in my mind, dreaming about it, or what early this morning. But we have criticized a quarterback is not the whole team. It's not one person in a team. And this poor young man has been criticized more over than any other quarterback in the history of the NFL.
You ain't never lied.
And you look at his stats. I mean, granted, stats don't win a game, but his stats are right up there with some of the elite quarterbacks.
Right.
And you got to have a full team in order to win the Super Bowl. You can't have one man is not going to win the freaking Super Bowl. And it could be the coaching. It could be the players. It could be a combination of the both.
Right.
But I'm looking at it and see this young man get criticized like he does. He's got to have some tough skin.
I'm like this, Paul, and I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and call the kettle black. I'm not gonna be. I was one of the first ones to be the most critical of Tua from the beginning, and this man is playing the best football of his life right now. He really is, and the results are not sitting there and get it. We're not getting the results that we need. That's just what
Yeah.
it comes down
No,
to. I mean,
I agree with you. I agree with you.
literally.
I was not a Tua fan,
Hmm.
but he developed me into being a fan of his by his work ethic.
Absolutely.
And everything that's been said about him, asked of him, he's done and proved. And yet he still gets criticized more than anybody, whether it's a quarterback or any other player on a team of anywhere in the NFL.
I mean, it's crazy. We got this man as after he's come back from his concussion, he's been putting up MVP numbers. Literally every week. This man has been putting up MVP numbers. So I don't understand. Like, I understand the frustrations of the losing. I understand the frustration of a whole bunch of things. But to sit there and just go ahead and say, I don't like Tua, I don't like Tua, just like Johnny O was telling us last week, there was a guy that said, I don't like him, I don't like him. Well, why don't you like him? And he
And
couldn't say nothing. You
he
just got
couldn't
people
give
that
him a
just don't
reason
like
why he
him.
didn't like him.
Yeah, you just got people that are just sitting there saying, I don't like him, I don't like him. Well, shit, bro, give me a reason why you don't like him. I just don't like him. All right, well, that's not a good enough reason, you know. I mean, that's our quarterback. I wasn't jumping up for joy when Jay Cutler was our quarterback. I wasn't jumping up for joy when what's the name when what's his name? Cleo Lemon was our quarterback. I wasn't jumping up for joy for a whole bunch of people that was our quarterback. But that is our quarterback. That's who I'm rooting for with this team. It is a team game. If you don't like the quarterback, I don't know what to tell you, but he's a part of the team. That's just what
Yeah.
it is. You know, because I'm like this young man has been, and like you said, Paul, this man has been proven week in and week out this season. He's been balling out. Yeah, did the beginning of the season start off real sketchy? Yes. Did he get injured week 2? Yes. Was he out for 4 to 5 weeks? Yes. He's come back and been balling ever since. So I get it. And I know I'm frustrated just like every other Miami Dolphin fan there is in here, or just watching, or whatever. I want to see us get into the playoffs. I want to see us sit there and get to the AFC Championship. I want to see us get to a Super Bowl, and I want to see us win a Super Bowl. Yeah, I feel the same. How do you think I'm feeling as I sit there and broadcast from a city that's on a 9-game fucking winning streak right now, going against the Pittsburgh Steelers? And right now, if the Detroit Lions lose and the Eagles win, I think the Eagles are 1 game behind on trying to get home field advantage from them. I would love to be saying that shit about Miami right now, but we can't. This is just reality. This is just the facts. Until Miami decides to be a physical, hard-nosed, kick-ass team, we are never going to get that. You can be finesse all the fuck you want. You can play finesse all you do. But you see what finesse does. You see them fucking Ferrari tires slide in the fucking snow because we couldn't get that shit done in Green Bay. You need to be a hard-nosed, kick-ass fucking team to take it to the next step and the next echelon. Ain't nobody going to give you shit in this league. And you can't lose the different teams that you were supposed to beat in the regular season. That's just what it is.
Well, that's, you can't be a Tesla truck and do what a regular truck does.
I ain't never lied on that.
And if you haven't seen the videos of a Tesla truck stuck in the snow and stuff like that, and a regular truck driving right by them, that's exactly what it does.
Listen, I'll give you a full example. You can have a Chevy F-150 or Ford F-150, and then you got a H2 Hummer. And the H2 Hummer looks good, but it's not able to handle the snow. Might be 2 inches of snow on the ground and sliding all over the place because it only has, I think, front wheel drive. But that Ford F-150 got 4-wheel drive, and it's out and about, cruising right by it, while that damn H2 Hummer that looks so pretty or whatever that you probably spent another $20,000 or $30,000 on is not doing shit towards that Ford F-150, and that Ford F-150 just trucking on by while you still spinning tires. That's exactly what that was with the Green Bay Packers versus the Miami Dolphins a couple weeks ago. We have to get down and gritty and dirty. That's what it comes down to. If we do not get dirty, if we do not get our hands dirty and sit there and get all the way down in that slop, these next 4 games are not going to mean shit. So it starts today. It starts against a team that's not giving a fuck that we have to sit there and win our games out because they're trying to win a division themselves. So with that being said, hey, we got to get our head out of our asses and play the fucking game today. That's just what it comes down to. This is straight up who I am, my passion. Been waiting to say this all weekend long. Get our head out of our asses and fucking win, Miami. This is it. This is what it's all about. Games that you are predicted not to win. They are not predicting us to win this game. We need to show the league that we are worthy and we are not the narrative team that goes against teams that are below and beat the shit out of them, but we can't beat the teams that's above us. No, we got to get it together.
Yeah, I agree. You know, we have a great team. I mean, there's needs improvements in certain spots, of course, but we have a team that should win and could win. But like you said, they got to pull their head out of their ass and get it on the right track.
Yeah, because it's not like this team is not talented, Paul. We know this team is very talented. We understand how talented this team is. It's just not translating to what as us as fans are wanting to see. Now, I'm not sitting there and I'm not delusional and thinking that we were going to go 17-0 this year. I'm not one of those fans. I would love to see something like that in my lifetime. But guess what? I'm not that delusional. I know this game and I know how this game is played. At the end of the day, man, all you want is the team's best effort on that field. And I believe some of those efforts were not their best effort, and it clearly showed. So I pray that this is not another sign of effortless game by the Miami Dolphins. Sit there, play your ass off, leave it all on the field, win or lose. I have no problems with that. What I, as a fan, have a problem with is when you know you've left plays out there on that field and you know in your heart, and as a fan and as a competitor yourself, you know damn well that team left plays out on that field. What I think that's what some of us fans are getting frustrated and sick and tired of. Every week, even though that we beat the Jets in overtime, nobody could have slept on Aaron Rodgers. I told people that record didn't mean shit. You can't sleep on the record. That's still Aaron Rodgers back there. And he almost sat there and fucked around and beat us in Miami like he did when he was with Green Bay. So you can't sit there and worry about, oh, well, they got a record of 2-10 or they got a record of 4 and this. Or no, the hell with records is who shows up. Like you say all the time, Paul, any given Sunday. And you say that numerous times, and that's the facts.
Yeah. Yeah. It is. I mean, any given Sunday, the worst team can beat the best team.
Mm-hmm.
I've said it, as you said, I've said it time and time again, and because it's the truth.
Yes,
and we've seen it done before.
yes. Trust me, we've seen it plenty. We've seen it plenty of times. You know what I mean? And in the sport of football, I tell people, don't look at the record. Don't look at that record. That record don't mean nothing.
No, it doesn't.
Comes down to is literally because I mean, even when we were talking about the Jets last week, as much as that's our divisional rival, that team lost a lot of games within a touchdown. Excuse me.
Well,
Or less.
right now, I mean, especially right now, every game is a must-win situation, and every team that is like Cleveland, like the Jets, even the 49ers, every team wants to be a spoiler,
Mm-hmm.
Including Houston today.
Yes.
Every team wants to be a spoiler to knock us out of the playoff contention.
And Houston has something to play for too. So that's the added motivation for them as well. So it's like I said, those men better understand that not only us Miami, we have something to play for, But no, the men in Houston, they got something to play for as well. So, like I said, put up or shut up. This is it. This is going to be a heavyweight fight. You know, who's going to punch who going to withstand whose hardest punch, or are we going to just lay down? Like, you know, because there is no in between. There's no in between with this team. Either we sit there and we're going to fight, or we're going to just sit there and lay down. And I hope we don't sit there and just lay down. I'm praying that that's not the case. I really am.
Yep, I agree. Real quick, I'm going to play a couple commercials.
All right.
What's up, y'all? This is Chef Jew. Looking for a great chef for your next catering party, private party, office party, etc. with welcome watering meals and desserts? Let Chef Jew Catering and Sweet Treats take care of it for you at an affordable price. Call me at 786-804-8096. Also, reach me at chefjewcatering@gmail.com. Direct message on Facebook and Instagram at Chef Juice Catering. Chef Juice Catering and Sweet Treats. Food with a passion. We do it all.
Chef Jew, Miami-Dade, Palm Beach area. Look him up. Get some sweet treats and good eats.
You ain't never lying, man. That dude got skills. He got skills. Everything looks good. And so,
Good morning, Joe Riss. How you doing, my brother?
I guess Johnny O is sleeping in.
Probably.
I don't blame him.
As Scotty says, this year they're either playing for the playoffs or playing to be spoiler.
Right.
No, I actually, slept in really for us.
Right.
Like you, we're used to being up at 5, 6 in the morning and stuff. And
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. I know, like I said, tomorrow ain't no sleeping in for me. I might just go ahead and set my alarm clock for like 8:15 so I can get up and get my day started. And like I said, I want to knock these cookies out. I don't want to be in the kitchen because I got about 6 to 8 dozen of each to do. So the last time I did that, it took me about altogether almost close to 5 to 6 hours. So yeah.
well, I can add some to that list for you.
No, I'm okay. Thank you. I appreciate it. But I mean, it's something that I enjoy to do. I really do. I mean, I sit there and do it every year, and I always like to make cookies. I mean, it gets me in the holiday spirit with a lot, and it keeps keeps me upbeat. The holidays are not easy for some of us, and always keep that in mind, folks. When you're out and about, you don't know what a person is going through. The holidays are a rough time for a lot of us, especially wishing that some of our loved ones were still here. They're still here in spirit, but we wish they were still here in a physical presence. So with that being said, just, sit there and take time and say a prayer or just sit there and just keep in mind that, someone out there that you know closely, or just someone that's out there that you don't even know on a regular basis, maybe, just maybe, they're going through something, and the holidays are probably the worst time for them. So keep that in mind. Definitely keep that in mind while you guys are celebrating the holiday season of any season, which that would be Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, Christmas, or other. And a definite prosperous and a happy 2025 as well. So definitely.
Yeah, we got to get up at like 3:30 in the morning to return the car and head to the airport. The plane leaves at 7:30.
Okay. You're not that far from the airport, are you?
No, not really.
Good.
30, 40 minutes.
No, that's not bad. That's
And
not bad at all.
that time in the morning, it might be even less.
Yeah, 15 minutes that time in the morning because there's probably no traffic.
Oh, this is Houston you're talking about. There seems to be traffic all the time.
A lot of migrants moved to Houston. A lot of people moved to Houston from all over the country.
Yeah, it was funny. David from Dolphins Nation Mexico, which they have, he says he believes their final total is around 350 Dolphins Nations Mexico members that will be at the game today.
Nice.
You
Very
know,
nice.
and he says that he goes at the tailgate and he goes, we're going to use Papa Gringo for our deterrent in case ice comes along.
I'm just happy you had a great time with those gentlemen, those good people, and Dolphin
Oh,
Nation Mexico. I'm very happy.
they do so much, and they're not looking for recognition. They just do it because it makes them feel good, just like I do. You know, like I do things that I do what makes me happy,
Mm-hmm.
and they help so much. Um, it was funny last year. I sent two of these little like quarterback challenge things. A blow up quarterback that has holes in them, you know, like that you throw the football through.
Right.
And one of them ended up was like forwarded to one group who forwarded to another group who forwarded another group, and finally ended up in. There's only like they say there's only like 3 places really in Mexico that play any football, you know, American football.
Right.
And they said this one place ended up with it, which they loved it. They only had 2 footballs. One was like worn, the leather was almost worn all the way through. And the other one was a styrofoam football.
Oh, wow.
So they loved it and stuff. And he's gonna send me some. He's gonna see about sending me some pictures of it where they got it.
Nice.
He sent them 2 of them, and the other one ended up in Mexico City.
Right.
So, but it's going to be that they're a great. If you can be a part of their group, they're a great group to be a part of.
Mm-hmm.
Dolphins Nation Mexico. They do a lot for. You know, it's like I said. They even bring pizzas to the orphanage, and these are kids that a lot of these kids don't even know what pizza is.
Right.
So, I mean, anything like that, if you can be a part of any of that helping, it's good for the soul.
Absolutely. I fully agree with you, Paul. And that just, to add on, to help people that are just less fortunate than you, it's just, oh, man, like it's huge. You never know. Like people don't understand that it just takes not even about 5 to 10 seconds just to sit there and give somebody that, a little sureness of confidence, or just to sit there and say, damn, they took the time out to say something to me or give me some good words or some kind words. You know what I mean?
Just saying hello sometimes can change the person's feeling.
Right. Absolutely. People got to understand that, like, just maybe that couple moments just with that person or persons might have changed the person's mind for the better, because you never know. You just don't know.
Exactly. You don't know what the person is going through. And just saying hello, how are you doing today? Can actually change a person's outlook on, wow, he recognized me.
Yeah.
They could be having a bad day, and that could bring their spirits up a little bit.
Right.
And people, I know people are saying, like, how can a hello, how you doing today, bring up a person's spirits. Well, you don't, like I said, you don't know what they're going through.
People don't understand in this day and age that in the cell phone age, we don't talk. We don't talk like we used to when our heads wasn't down in our cell phones. There was a point in time in society where we talked about football games, or we talked about the basketball game, or we talked about sports, or we talked about some crazy shit that was going on. And in general public, the public used to sit there and talk to each other. Now with the devices that we have now, we don't. Our devices take up our attention. And with that being said, we're not sociable like we used to be. Yeah, we're sociable. We're more sociable on social media and other outlets. But as society, we are so into our electronics, we don't really. It's like there's a disconnect, and it's a major disconnect. And I wish we could get back to the days where we did talk to each other, we did conversate. We didn't have to know each other from Adam, but it was just the fact of the matter that I could strike up a conversation with a stranger and maybe put a smile on their face, or sit there and share a good laugh with them, or just to hear their perspective on the situation without people getting pissy. Because we've come into a situation where we're in society where you can't say anything to nobody anymore without them getting bent the fuck out of shape. And a lot of people feel like they're entitled, and nobody don't. I don't have time for that bullshit. You can have your entitlement all you fucking want. You know, society as a whole is this: either you get what you put into it. And I've always said that to people. If you are a shitty person, you're going to get the shitty end of the stick. If you're a good person, you still might get the shitty end of the stick, but you nine times out of ten, things do work out for you, because when they say when you do good, good comes back to you. I'm a definite proven example of that. So with that being said, as long as you continue being the person that you know you are in your heart and hearts, and you're not sitting there hurting anybody or anything like that, I believe that if you do good, good come back to you. If you do shit, it's going to come back to you tenfold, and that's just what it is.
Yeah, Joe, our game is at 1 today. And Scotty said I should send him some footballs. After hearing the story last night, I'm actually looking at getting about 10 or 12 footballs to send to them.
Right.
So I just got to get with David on that. So he's the one who gets them distributed where they need to go.
Right.
But I'm going to see about doing that, because, I mean, it's just the right thing.
Right. Absolutely. And so definitely, I'm just hyped about this game. I really am. I'll have my phone charged. I'll be either done what I've had to do and caught up before the game, or I'll be sitting there doing my prep while watching the game. So I'm not missing this game, not by a long shot. I'll sit there and still do my replay of watching it in the morning or in the afternoon before we do the podcast tomorrow.
Yeah.
And you know, I just hope that we have a very good showing out here. Not just we're happy just to be here and we shit the bed. I'm praying it's not that, because I mean we all know the importance of this game. So it's going to be
a must-win situation.
Must win situation. I think it's going to be close. I'm going to still stick to my score 24-21 Dolphins. But I'm like this, D'Amico Ryans, he's definitely coming with a lot of players that are not, they have that same mentality as he did as when he was a player. Because trust me, I remember D'Amico Ryans as a player as well, and he was definitely a force to be reckoned with when he was a player. So he's got that same intensity as a coach, and he's definitely got those them young men in that locker room ready to go. Can we say that can we say that with Mike McDaniel and this young team? Can we say that? I hope. I'm praying that we can. For real. I really do. Because like I said, history has shown when it's time for us to go against teams that are above 500 and above, it's not good. And this don't got no weather. No weather has any issue or effect on this game. It's just where we at with it. Where are we at with it? Do we have the heart for this? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, this is it. This is one of those games that this is it. And then the next week, like you said, You got a San Francisco 49ers team that might be knocked out of playoff contention, but they want to play spoiler. And then the week after that, you got to go into another
Cleveland.
situation. You got to go into another situation where they're going to say it's cold, it might be snowy, it's going to be freezing. We're going to be bringing up 3,500 pounds of heating equipment again. Are we going to lay down and sit there and say, "Oh, it's cold, and we're just happy to be here," or actually, are we going to actually play? And the same thing for the Jets game, which I just sat there and read that. I think Scotty put up there. He said that the Jets got that circled on their calendar. You damn right they got it circled on their calendar because they felt that they should have beat us in our home, and without a doubt. So I I expect them to have that circled on their calendar. I really do. So it really comes down to what Miami Dolphins team is going to show up, and it's going to come down to what Miami Dolphins team, what output are we going to see on this field today. That's what it really just comes down. I would love to sit there and say, well, I expect to see this, see that, see this, see that. But you know what? Like Johnny O always says, we just got to wait and see.
Yeah, that's true, Mr. Magoo. It can go either way, and we have to knuckle up and ball out.
Mm-hmm.
Our guys have to make the tackles. Our defense has to step up big time today.
Right.
Plain and simple. Our defense, all the way around, secondary, defensive line, everybody, they have to step up this afternoon and play the best defense they've played all year.
Right.
I truly believe that's about the only way we're going to really win this game.
Agreed 100%. I mean, I know our front four is going to do the best they can with Sealer, with Calais Campbell, with what's his name? Don't forget
Chop Robinson.
Also Deshaun Hand as well.
Yes.
So because I'm be honest with you, he's been making plays here and there as well. So it's not like that we don't have no dogs up front. We do have some dogs up front, but then that secondary has got to play a whole lot better than what they've been playing. They really have to. I love Jalen Ramsey, but Jalen Ramsey has been getting burnt lately. Poyer's made a couple plays here and there. Holland, I don't know what to say about Holland. And I like Holland. But we need that Holland that we used to have. I haven't seen it this season.
No.
I just haven't. Like, I understand you want to get paid, young man. I get it. This is your livelihood. I get it. But the way you get paid is showing it on the field, not just sitting there trying to skate through the whole season and say, okay, well, it's time for me to get paid. My contract is up, this, that, the other, I get it. I do.
If you're not showing it on the field, you're liable to not get paid by anybody because another team's going to look at it like, well, you didn't do much for Miami.
Absolutely.
Why should we pay you?
Absolutely, because I understand that he wants to be paid as one of the top corners in the league, but I'm sorry to tell you this, you haven't done much. You haven't done much to sit there and make me believe that you're going to get paid. If I'm a GM, I don't believe you've done enough to get paid as one of the top corners in the league. That's just what it is.
That's reality.
I like Brooks, Scotty. Brooks needs to pull guys aside and have a talking to like Howard, Cahoon, Walker. He can do the best he can, but I'm like this, they grown ass men, bro, and everybody's gonna have their own mentality going into this game. That's why I keep saying what Miami team is going to show up today. That's why I say it every week in and week out. You don't know what team's going to show up. We sit there, we know what we watch, but the thing about it is, do we know what team is going to show up? Hell no. It could be a team that's hungry and go in here and Thank you. It could be a team that can go out there and smoke. They could smoke these dudes. They could. I want to be wrong. I want to be wrong. Every time I sit there and every time I put points out here, analysis out here, any type of things, like my opinion out here. I want to be wrong, ladies and gentlemen. I do. But thing about it is as soon as you want to feel like you're going to be wrong, then all of a sudden certain things start popping up where it's the same old thing. And I don't want it to be that way. I don't. I tell everybody, I don't prove points just because I want to make myself look right. I don't. I'm not that guy. I'm just not. I'm not. I put these points out here because these are things that we need to look out as fans. That's how I look at things. I don't sit there and put things out there, just sit there and start alternative motives or just to stir the pot or whatever. No, I'm keeping it a whole being, not just with not only just with myself, but to try to sit there and get people to sit there and just hear what I'm saying. You can take it, run with it, or you can sit there and say, this dude is fucking crazy. I have no problems with either one. Because it's just
we all know you're fucking crazy.
Yeah, I've been fucking crazy. You know that personally. So
yeah, the wife said you would have smothered me last night or the other night.
Oh god, yeah. Almost dead. He was rolled over. Oh my god. Dragon Man. I have earplugs.
Well, you know how it is when you have a bit of a cold. You can't help it.
No, I do. I definitely do. I mean, the way this weather is up here, today is going up to 43. Tomorrow's going up to 50. Tuesday's going to be 60. Wednesday's going back down to, I think, 40 or 50. And then it's going back down to the 30s over the weekend, next weekend. So it's like a roller coaster ride up here in Philadelphia with the weather. So I definitely understand because I'm getting a little congested myself. But what can you do?
To hear somebody cough and run like hell.
Oh, trust me. I look, I've already sat there and I take black seed oil and I'm gonna probably pop some medicine when I get home because I don't like being sick. So with that being said, I jump on top of it before it becomes something.
Oh man, it's a week and it's awful.
Yeah, I believe it. Definitely. And so, but we got less than 8 minutes on this show. Paul, what's your prediction for the show for the game today?
It's tough to say. If our defense actually shows up, if our defense tackles like the way they should be, I mean, you're looking. I don't know. It's 27-24 is what I'm looking at. I mean, and it could go higher than that, really. It all depends. It could be a shootout, like Scotty says.
Yeah.
It could end up being, like something like 38-35.
I mean,
but
go ahead.
It's going to be a one score game, and I believe it's only going to be a field goal game, really. When I say a field goal game, that's all either team's going to win by.
Yeah,
but I'm picking us to win, of course.
Of course. It really comes down to Mike McDaniel. It comes down to Mike McDaniel and his play calling today. One thing I didn't like about us last week with the Jets, you called the same run play 3 to 4 times in that game. You almost got a chant killed last week. Please do not do that against this defense. Because if you do it against this defense, you will get somebody hurt. You will, McDaniel. Luckily, we didn't get anybody hurt last week. But the last thing we need is to get anybody hurt in these next 4 games, especially if we still have a chance to make in the playoffs. We have to.
Good morning. We're getting ready to be off the air, brother, but thank you for joining us. Sorry about that, Saul.
No, you're good, brother. Appreciate that. What's up, Costa Nostra? We have to play physical today. We have to sit there and we have to assure dominance right from the beginning. We have to let them know that they're going to be in a dogfight with us too. You got to have players like Brooks, which I love that Brooks was the one that called out the team for being soft. I do. I love it. I really do. For the simple fact of the matter, if you're sitting there making solid tackles and you're not sitting there and doing these little bitch ass arm tackles, yeah, I'm with that 150%. We have to play like that. We have to play like that for the rest of the season. Doesn't matter the elements. I don't give a damn about the elements. We need to play like that every single down from this point forward. That's just what it is. If you make solid tackles, if you're limiting yourself to limiting mistakes, limiting penalties, this game, and like I said, I'm giving credit to the Houston Texans. This game is going to be a barn burner. This is not the same Houston Texans that came to Miami a few years ago and we just blew them out by halftime. No, them days is over. Them days been gone. This is a brand new Houston Texans with a quarterback, C.J. Stroud, which he can play the game. He is known for throwing a couple turnovers here and there, but he plays very well. And he's another running quarterback, too. So we have to keep that in mind as well, because he is going to use his legs against Miami as well today. So, like, I'm with you, Paul. I'm calling it 24-21 Dolphins by a field goal. And at the end of the day, I'm like this. We got to bring it. We got to bring it right from the first snap. If we get the ball first, you need to march down and get a touchdown. This is not a field goal type game. It's not. You need to score right from the gate, because if you don't score right from the gate and you only score a field goal and you give up a touchdown in Houston, it can be a long, long day. Seriously. So.
Yeah, I agree, Scotty. Defense cannot allow the Houston to score consecutively on plays, on drives.
Mm-hmm. I'll say this: we can't allow what happened in Green Bay. That's what we cannot allow. We cannot allow that at all. Because I'm gonna tell you this: if we get behind early, quick, and often, definitely. Thank you, Ali. Appreciate you, Ali the Persian. And so. But yeah, brother, I hope you have a great time. Tell everybody I said hello. I miss everybody. I can't wait to see everybody next season. I'll be looking forward to seeing pictures of you at the stadium and others. I'll be looking on my Facebook feed, and then I'll be pulling up this phone like about 12:55 on my feed, and I can sit there and watch this game. So I'll be watching.
Yeah, I can't wait either. And we'll have a good time. Chop Robinson, should hopefully he gets a sack in there today. Other than that, everyone, y'all have a wonderful day. Peace, love, and fins up, everybody.
Peace, love, fins up, guys. See you tomorrow at 5:00.
We'll talk to you soon.
Welcome to the Huddle Sports Network, where we're breaking boundaries and redefining podcasting. Broadcasting live on 6 different platforms, we're bringing you the latest in sports like never before. Imagine tuning in to real-time discussions, expert analyses, and fan interactions all at your fingertips. Each platform offers a unique experience, whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch. We're not just sharing stories, we're creating a community of passionate sports enthusiasts. Join us as we dive deep into the evolution of podcasting, where every episode is a chance to engage, debate, and celebrate the world of sports. This is where your voice matters and the game never stops. Welcome to the Huddle Sports Network, where we're breaking boundaries and redefining podcasting. Broadcasting live on 6 different platforms, we're bringing you the latest in sports like never before, where sports passion meets podcasting brilliance. I'm Mike, the Bear fan, and alongside Bill, the Packer fan, and our buddy Ken Catalone, we're bringing you an incredible lineup of 38 diverse podcasters. Each one brings their unique flavor to the table, covering everything from game analysis to behind-the-scenes stories. Imagine diving deep into the minds of experts who live and breathe football, sharing insights that you won't find anywhere else.